Welcome everyone to the January 27th meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. And I would like to ask our Sheriff, Jeff Balzer, to say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Sheriff. I'm Barb Lewis, President of the Board this year, and with fellow Commissioner Gary Merrill. And we have our Deputy Administrators. First, our General Counsel Deputy Administrator, Eric Hostetler, and our Deputy Administrator, Don Houston, and our clerks, Jennifer and Brandy. We can begin.
Resolution number 25-49, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held January 23rd, 2025.
So moved.
Second, discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 25-49. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
And Mr. Benton is absent this morning. We do not have any public comment today. That brings us to item number 3, resolution number 25-50. In the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0124 and memo transfers in batch number MT APR 0124.
So moved.
Second, discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 25-50. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
For item number 4, we have State Representative Brian Lorenz from the Ohio House District with us this morning.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, President Lewis, Commissioner Merrill, and I guess Commissioner Benton's gone, but that's okay. Just wanted to come in and give you a brief report and make you aware of a situation on a petition that I'm working on throughout the county. I just really want to take a moment to thank Sheriff Balzer, who's here, Prosecutor Schiffel, and several other helpers here in Delaware County for getting Braden's Law passed and signed into law. That'll take effect in April, and it was a really great team effort amongst the elected officials here in the county to stop sextortion and criminalize that. As you are aware, we had the young man from Olentangy High School who was extorted for money for sending pictures, and unfortunately took his life within 27 minutes for a request or a demand of $1,800. So, you know, I will continue to tout the teamwork and the leadership from, you know, people like Sheriff Balzer and Prosecutor Schiffel for coming together and helping us out with that. As we start a new General Assembly, I'll be chairing or vice chairing the Development Committee, which is newly formed, and that'll deal in mechanisms of economic development, planning, zoning, housing, which are all critical issues to us in our county. And so you may or may not, you'll be seeing some bills being levied and put in, and any feedback that you guys might have, we'd welcome that. I know Jeff's really interested in a lot of that, as well as far as JEDs, how we move forward on CEDAs and all of our economic development tools. So I think that's going to be a really important piece for the next 2 years. And then finally, one of the things that I've been working on along with Trustee Donaldson from Liberty Township is mitigating truck traffic on 315. And while 315 is a state route, the residents there have overwhelmingly voiced concerns over routing with school bus stops, the number of access points that we have, the width of the road, the conditions of the road, and just the general safety measures, especially with speed over when you get past the Hyatt's Road. And so one of the things that I've been working on is, you know, everyone has a right to that particular road because it is a state route. And so how do we balance concerns, especially from an environmental perspective? We're one accident away from having a catastrophic thing happen with, chemicals being put in the Olentangy River, or, some sort of accident. I've worked with the Liberty Township Fire Department, Chief Reardon, on that as well. And so what you're going to be seeing is a request from our office for the commissioners to consider passing a resolution of support to designate State Route 315 as a hazardous cargo route. And so what does that mean? What it would do would eliminate hazardous cargo basically being able to be hauled up and down 315. It doesn't mitigate truck traffic. It's a long process. It's not been done since 1994. It's something that Trustee Donaldson and I have been working on for quite some time, and just trying to lay the groundwork out, because, again, the last time this was done it was up around Cleveland, and it's just been, it's a touch and go. No one's executed it in a while, so we're kind of feeling out the process. But what I've been doing is going around the jurisdictions asking for resolutions of support. Liberty Township will be passing one. City of Powell, which does have about a quarter mile of road right away there, has passed one as well. I'm only considering Delaware County because, my district only is in Delaware County, but I've had conversations with, I believe it's Sharon Township right there by Hills Market. So we will be providing you some sample language, and would love to talk to you offline if possible, and answer any questions that you have. I know I'm just kind of throwing it out at you right now, so don't expect any reaction or anything like that. It's a non-binding agreement. It doesn't have any financial implication. As far as I can tell, it doesn't, put the jurisdiction issuing the resolution into any sort of legal terms or anything like that. It's just, good safety policy. And what I'd like to do is consolidate all of that with this book that I have of emails and concerns, and present it to the ruling body, which in this case is the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio, ironically enough. And the ultimate decision is made by the Lieutenant Governor, which of course we don't have one right now, but in about 12 months' time, hopefully we will. And I expect that process, this application process, to take that long. Again, there's no financial commitment, and there should be no liability. This is merely a resolution of support, more ceremonial than anything. So I know I just gave you that. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have now, or obviously in the future.
You said non-binding, you meant the resolution, not the law if it
Correct,
passed. I just
right.
want to make sure that's clear. And offline, that'd be appropriate. I assume you have or will be talking to our county engineer.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I will. Yep. I have a lot of meetings to get scheduled in the next week and a half, so.
And the neighbors were here about 6-7 months ago?
I do, yes,
And
yes,
I thought they represented themselves very well.
yes. And I've spoken to Sheriff Balzer about it. I've spoken to our folks at the local highway patrol office about it. Tony Tarasco with ODOT and I have been in deep discussion. And in fact, he's sort of the one that recommended this path. So I think it's important for us to, make sure that the road is open to everyone, obviously, but let's see if we can put some guardrails around there, because let's be honest, it's a state route that's running through a quasi-residential area for the most part, so.
Right, the Olentangy River on one side, and then
Right.
the homes on the other, and a narrow road, and it
Yeah.
winds, and it's,
It's tough.
Definitely a
It's
problem.
growth, and how do we, make things fair out of the conditions that we're presented with, so. And we had that big accident with the one truck that fell in there back in the fall, and Liberty Township responded to it. Thankfully, that didn't have any contaminants in it, but, a wreck of an oil tanker or something like that could really create a catastrophic water security issue for us going forward, so.
Do you have a date that you're looking to have these resolutions, or,
I'd like to have everything taken care of and submitted by March 1st.
and you're gonna get something to us to?
I can give you a sample resolution, yes, certainly. Yep.
You know, Alex McCarthy, who is the director of our EMA.
Yes.
And of course, they handle hazardous accidents. So just if you could touch base
Yes,
with
ma'am.
Alex, I'll mention it to him too.
Yep.
To give you a call.
I know Alex, so I'll do that.
Oh,
Thank
oh,
you.
that
Yeah.
would
And
be
we've
great.
done several, I'll make a note too. Town halls. I started this process last February. We've done a couple of town halls. We've done a stakeholder meeting where we've invited, many of the people from the agencies, including
Oh,
City of
okay.
Powell, Liberty
Okay.
Township, Sheriff had representation there. So it's been a long working process to try and get a definition of what the mechanism for approval will be. Because certainly, from a legislative standpoint, never say never, but I don't believe that we would get the support to completely ban vehicles like that, and I'm not necessarily sure that we should be doing that, but I think that we need to, anything we can do to kind of mitigate that environmental concern would be beneficial.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks.
No, sure appreciate
Yes.
your coming.
appreciate you guys letting me come in and saying hi, so,
No.
and we'll get, I'll get that information to you
Yeah.
guys.
Good to see you.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Let me ask, since our county engineer, Chris Bauserman, is here, Chris, did you want to make any comments one way or the other?
I had some, but Brian said everything I was going to say, so
Okay, okay.
I'll save you listening to it twice.
Well, we always love to hear from you. The Sheriff Balzer, did you have any comments to add to? And you'll have to come up just because we're on audio.
Certainly, we support safety on the roadways, and this is something, if we can work with our partners from ODOT and the county engineer to address this. And possibly, I know that there are plans for future improvements on Route 23, because that's always one of my concerns, is where the traffic going to go then. The hazardous material will go on 23. But if there were improvements on 23, as they've talked about, that could be one area to kind of address that then. So I look forward to being part of the discussions then.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, improvements on 23 is about a 10-year project, so it's not, so there's some conflict.
Right, it doesn't line up exactly on the timeline, but I think that's just part of the discussion too, just to make sure that we address it for the greatest number of folks. And we certainly do want that to be safe because, like you said, when that road was designed, it's a beautiful, curvy, scenic road, and sometimes it kind of conflicts with the current usage.
Sure,
So,
sure. Being the fastest growing county in the state.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Thanks, Sheriff. Okay, we can proceed.
For item number 5, we have, again, Sheriff Balzer and Chief Scowden, and our deputy, Troy Pierce, is retiring from the Delaware County Sheriff's Office.
I'll just keep the sheriff
also
right at
have
your mic.
a resolution that I'm going to read so we
Okay.
can all do it together. Resolution number 25-51, in the matter of declaring county personal property not needed for public use and authorizing the sale of personal property to Deputy Troy Petrie on the occasion of his retirement.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Sheriff Jeff Balzer, and I'm going to let Chief Deputy John Scouten talk first.
All right.
Hello, Chief. How
Good
you
morning,
doing?
Commissioners. Deputy Sheriff Chief Troy Petrie will retire on January 31st after 37 years of service to the Delaware County Sheriff's Office. Started in January of 1988 under former Sheriff Lavery. Deputy Petrie grew up in Delaware County and graduated from Big Walnut High School. He attended Mount Vernon Nazarene College and is a lifelong resident of Delaware County. Troy has served in several areas throughout his career, serving as a corrections officer, patrol deputy, canine deputy. He acted as a bailiff under Judge Kruger, a court services and transport deputy, and prior to there being any school resource officers, He was also a liaison to the schools. During his tenure at the DCSO, Troy has seen many changes and filled many jobs. A couple that were mentioned before, K-9 and school liaison, were instrumental in today's Delaware County Sheriff's Office. Troy and his partner K-9 Hasso were the very first K-9 team in Delaware County and set an example for many K-9 units that were to follow. And a little story, when I was a young patrol officer in Westerville, we had a burglary on second shift, and we called for a K-9, and Troy showed up. And this was probably an hour and a half, 2 hours after the burglary had happened, and Troy and Hasso went right to the suspect, and we got him.
All right.
This was probably 1997, 6, or something like that. Troy was also, as I mentioned, a school liaison for Olentangy Schools, which was the precursor to the unit that now has 17 school resource officers and two sergeants assigned to it. Troy will be missed not only for his dedication, but for the integrity he brought to the profession and to every aspect of his life, which serves as an example to others. He has always been a true gentleman to all that know him. On behalf of Sheriff Balzer and the entire Delaware County Sheriff's Office, I thank Troy for his dedicated service to the country, our county, and our community. And we all wish him continued good health and happiness in his retirement. Congratulations. Thank you.
I also want to add a few comments. Troy he kind of embodies what we want in a deputy sheriff in Delaware County, a person that's committed to the community. He started serving in the late 80s. He worked in the county jail when it was housed right behind us here on Central Avenue.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he moved from there out to the location on 42, then became a deputy, as you've heard. Troy has had a big effect on the sheriff's office and our community, a positive effect. And I think of all the people that he's trained and the service he's provided over the years, including to me. When I came on in 2016, I got to work with Troy because that was one of my areas of assignment, court security and the jail and things. And when I had questions, Troy's my go-to guy because he's the one that's been around and knows how to handle things. So I very much enjoyed working with Troy, and it's been a pleasure. On one hand, it's a loss for us at the sheriff's office to lose someone with all that experience, but on the other hand, what a wonderful gift he's given us of over 37 years of service to the community. So I'm very thankful for Troy and for his family, for Maria, his wife, and Justin, his son, for sharing him with us for that long. And I'd like to give Troy the opportunity to say something if you'd like to.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Well, there's been a lot of changes, that's for sure. Like, we went from this little, I think when we moved all the inmates over, there might have been 6 or 8 at the time, and we're up to 180 or somewhere around there now. So I've seen a lot of changes, that's for sure. And, we spoke about 23 today, and we used to use that, and we'd split the counties up. We might only have 1 or 2 deputies back then. It's just so, it's come, so far and changed so much, and I've seen it all. It seems like, at least what the county has offered over the years, and several sheriffs I've seen come and go, and judges. I mean, I spent a lot of times in this building, Shaw and Whitney, so it's been good.
Oh, Commissioner Merrill?
Oh, first of all, thank you for your 37 years of service. I don't think it'd be doing justice. You mentioned this burglary and mentioned you. Didn't mention the name of your partner, though, your K-9 partner.
Hasso. Yes, Hasso was he was a great dog. He was a handful, but he was a great dog. And I remember that night too, and I thought, it's a little time before we got there, and and he did great on the track that night. And we went to a door. He took me right to the door where the guy had tried to get into a house after the burglary, and then took us to another place. And I remember the alleyway. We went around the side, and he was hiding behind a dumpster. And we always send another officer with a canine too, because you're watching the dog and you can't pay attention ahead of you. And the officer that was with me that night, they said, there he is, and then, you know, the dog fired off, and, yeah, I remember that specifically in Westerville, when we helped out that night, but, that was just, you know, one part of, I guess, my overall career that I enjoyed, and, it's been a good experience, the whole 37 years have been great.
Oh, gosh. We've been so fortunate to have you.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. The stories that you could tell?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, and we do, and we sit around and tell stories all the time, but there's been quite a few just like that, and they're not all good, but there are a lot of good stories too. So, but seen a lot, 37 years. They asked me why I couldn't stay till 40, and I said, I'm feeling it now. I'm too old. These younger guys got to come out here and chase these guys around. And, but I've been at the courts for quite a while now, so that's been a good experience across the street there, and just overall.
Again, thank you.
To be at. And, you know, I had chances, thought about going somewhere else, but like I said, I've had my support system. I've been from Delaware, and I wanted to stay in Delaware, and I'm glad I did. Yeah.
Do you have any special plans?
I do. I've got a place up north I'm going to work on up at the lake.
Oh,
And a lot of
okay.
fishing, so I'm going to do some of that. I got some friends down south that trying to put me to work on their projects too.
Oh, I
down in
bet.
Florida, so I've got plenty to do. I'm not, but there again, I don't intend on going back to work. So many of them go back to work somewhere else, but I think I put enough years in here, and just try to enjoy everything and spend more time with the family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Yep.
thank you so much. You are just a part of our wonderful sheriff's office. What a reputation, what a great reputation you have for keeping us safe. I mean, safety is mentioned all the time. It's why people are coming, so many people, one of the reasons why so many people are coming to Delaware County. And thank you for your dedication. Oh my gosh, fabulous. Thank you for coming in too. Oh gosh.
We do need to vote on
Oh, we do.
vote on
Yes.
motion 25-51. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Item number 7, resolution number 25-52, in the matter of approving the DKMM County Recycling and Litter Prevention Office Program Final Status Report for 2024.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jennifer Way Young, Keep Delaware County Beautiful, Delaware Public Health District. So I'm going to just sort of go over some of the highlights from the last 6 months of 2024. I was able to do a recycling presentation at Willowbrook and 3 cookie mining presentations to Delaware City SAC students. I had a Delaware Area Career Center Wildlife classroom student who job shadowed me. So he was able to participate in the string light program, and we were at the recycling drop-offs. And he was able to go out with Delaware Public Health staff to do a transfer station inspection and go on a nuisance complaint. I've tabled at Stratford Ecological Preserve, the Delaware Public Health District's open house, Concord Township Fire Station, Berkshire Township Playground dedication, and provided recycling and special waste disposal information to our residents. We held the string light collection that just wrapped up. And it's an estimated 1.5 tons of string lights that were collected for the entire event. So about on par with last year. So residents are still participating in that actively. Something new this year is I worked with my coworkers at the Delaware Public Health District, and we held a tire collection, a passenger tire collection for our residents. And we had 2 locations, one on each side of the county, one in Radnor, one in Sunbury, on the same day at the same time. One of our locations collected 10 tons of tire, and another one collected 11 tons of tires. It was very well received, lines were not that long, and it went very smoothly, and we are hoping that we can do the same thing again this year.
And it's also great because reduces mosquito breeding, and obviously we don't want those tires dumped in our rivers, waterways, that sort of thing. The compost bucket food scrap program continued. I spoke with Price Farms Organics, and they estimate more than 16 tons of food scraps were composted in 2024. So that was still amazing that, again, this is just a voluntary program that people are participating in. The Delaware County Fair, we had recycling using clear streams this year, and over 1,500 pounds of recyclables were collected. Clear streams were also provided for the Shawnee Hills Oktoberfest. And we did complete the paint grant that we had for the village of Ashley. It was with Keep Ohio Beautiful and Sherwin-Williams. We were able to procure some paint, and they were able to paint their municipal building. So we got that completed. And then finally, we had 3 different communities, a number of cleanups. July through December, we had 288 volunteers who collected 3,000 pounds of litter in Delaware County. And then in August, we had the Olentangy River cleanup where 70 volunteers collected 1,000 pounds of litter. So there's lots been going on.
No wonder the county looks so good. That's
well,
great.
this time of year when the snow melts, we're all gonna just
No, that's,
have to
oh
work
my
on
God.
getting out there in the spring,
Yes,
for sure.
yes, right.
Everyone needs to get out and clean out those ditches.
Yeah, yeah. A little hard to do all that right now, but boy, keeping the county clean. Commissioner Merrill?
I have nothing to add to it.
Yeah,
A lot going on.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
I know that with the hazardous waste drop-off in particular, and you mentioned all the other
I meant to get those
tires.
numbers for you as well, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, that's, that's really popular here, since it's right down the street.
Yes, and we've had a lot of great participation. I meant to get those numbers for you. Again, I am so sorry I did not do that. It is in the complete report that you have, though.
Oh, that's great, good.
So, yes.
Good, we'll get that out. Thank you so much for your work and.
Well, we're ready to get on it again this spring. We already have our days set up and have it on my calendar, so I'll be out there with Jenna and Cheryl collecting electronics and hazardous waste with them.
Well, thank you. Thanks to you and your team. Thanks for coming in too, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Vote. Vote on motion 25-53. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye,
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
thank you.
Resolution number 25-5, I'm sorry, that resolution was 5-2, so this one's 5-3. Resolution number 25-53, in the matter of approving preliminary legislation and LPA purchase agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the improvement of the intersection of Dell State Route 3 and County Road 106 Lewis Center Road.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lee Bodnar with the Engineers Office. Excuse me. This resolution is in association with the widening of State Route 3 at the intersection of Lewis Center Road in Genoa Township. That intersection improvement project is a cooperative effort between the county, ODOT, to add turn lanes and traffic signalization at that intersection. And this resolution specifically will allow the Delaware County to serve as the local public agency, or LPA, for the project, and also will accept the funding of $250,000 from ODOT toward this project. It is scheduled to begin later this year with completion in the summer of 2026, and we would recommend your approval.
That is so important. I know Pastor Frank from Genoa Baptist, the Baptist church keeps growing and more buildings,
Sure.
but there's so much traffic going up 3C. And then Lewis Center too. So, thank you. Any comments?
Nothing to add.
Okay, vote please.
Vote on motion 25-53. Mr. Benton is still absent, sorry. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-54, in the matter of approving a contract of sale and purchase between Brian L. and Teresa All Dalton and the Board of Delaware County Commissioners for the project known as Del CR 1230.00 Hyatt Section Line Road Improvement.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, for your consideration, this resolution is for the purchase of property in association with the Hyatts and Section Line Road intersection improvement project, which is in Concord Township. This consists of replacing the intersection with a single-lane roundabout. The project is scheduled for construction during the summer of 2026, and we would recommend your approval.
Vote please.
Vote on motion 25-54. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-55, in the matter of approving the plats of subdivision for Dublin Court subdivision, Evans Farm Section 6, Phase A, Part 1, and Evans Farm Section 6, Phase B.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, for your consideration, Dublin Court subdivision is a 11-lot subdivision located on the west side of Dublin Road between Duffy Road and Home Road in Concord Township. Evans Farms Section 6, Phase A, Part 1, and Phase B totals 96 lots located north of Lewis Center Road in Orange Township. These plats have all been reviewed by the necessary and required agencies, and we would recommend approval.
Okay, any comments? Vote please.
Vote on motion 25-55. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-56, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Commissioners, for your consideration, this is 19 standard right-of-way utility permits with nothing out of the
I'm
ordinary.
not counting. I'm going to trust
Wow.
you. It's a lot of the count.
Well, I was going to tell you that I'm good with numbers except when I'm counting.
Vote please.
Vote
So-
on motion 25-56. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-57, in the matter of adopting a resolution declaring a necessity and the intent of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners to appropriate property.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, for your consideration, this resolution is for the purchase of property in association with the Pyatt Road and Peach Blow Road intersection improvement project, which is in Berlin Township. That project consists of replacing the intersection with a modern roundabout, and it's scheduled for construction in 2026, and we would recommend approval.
Okay, comments?
No comment.
Vote please.
Vote on motion 25-57. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-58, in the matter of adopting a resolution declaring a necessity and the intent of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners to appropriate property.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Again, for your consideration, this resolution is for the purchase of property in association with the widening of State Route 3 and the intersection at Lewis Center Road in Genoa Township. The intersection improvement projects are a cooperative effort, as you well know, from between the county and ODOT, and that adds turn lanes and traffic signalization. And this project is scheduled to begin later this year with completion in the summer of 2026. And we recommend your approval.
Thank you. Vote please.
Vote on motion 25-58. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-59, in the matter of submitting certification of total road mileage in Delaware County to the Ohio Department of Transportation for calendar year 2024.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Thank you, Commissioners. This resolution certifies the total of 333,929 centerline miles for 2024. In 2023, we had a certification for 334,877 centerline miles that were certified. So this would be a reduction of 0.948 centerline miles, which is due to annexation. And we recommend your approval to accept these mileage.
Okay. Vote please.
Vote on motion 25-59. Mr. Benton? I'm sorry, I keep doing that today. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-60, in the matter of awarding bids and engineering materials for 2025.
So move.
Second, discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, this resolution is for our annual materials and services vendors list, which is a non-inclusive bid process. There was a total of 4 vendors that were selected for tree clearing, 1 that was selected for pavement striping, 3 that were selected for guardrail installation, and 7 for drainage maintenance. We call upon these vendors as needed throughout the course of 2025, course of the year, so that we are able to quickly respond to the needs as they arise. And our township partners are also, can also piggyback on this resolution and utilize these same vendors through this award. If you have any other questions, I can certainly answer those, but we would recommend your approval.
No, but that really helps the townships and cities that we have. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-60, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution number 25-61, in the matter of approving the drainage maintenance petition and the ditch maintenance assessments for Evans Farm, Section 6, Phase A, Parts 1 and 2, and Phase B.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, for your consideration, this area involves 30.22 acres and 96 lots located in Orange Township. The petition was submitted with, by the property owners, by 100% of the property owners, to be placed on the county drainage maintenance program, and we would recommend your approval.
Okay, vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-61, Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Resolution number 25-62, in the matter of approving supplemental agreement number 2 for preliminary engineering services with Norfolk Southern Railway Company for railroad grade separation on Orange Road.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, this resolution is for additional engineering review services by Norfolk Southern Railroad in relation to the Orange Road Railroad Grade Separation Project in Orange Township.
Okay, vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-62, Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Resolution number 25-63, in the matter of awarding a bid and approving a contract between the Delaware County Commissioners and Double Z Construction Company for the 2024 culvert contract.
2025?
Yeah, it was 2024.
Oh,
We had a
okay,
correction.
gotcha. Okay.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, this is for a 2024 culvert contract. It was awarded for the total replacement of 5 culverts located throughout the county. There were 2 bids received. Shelley and Sands bid a total of $2,050,461, and Double Z Construction for $1,493,403. All the documents have been reviewed and all materials meet the bid requirements. This project will begin in the early spring and will be completed by mid-August of this year, and we recommend your approval.
Thank you. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-63, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution number 25-64, in the matter of establishing maintenance bond and releasing construction bond for Carlton at Berkshire.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, for your consideration, this resolution releases the construction bond and establishes the 1-year maintenance bond for the Carlton at Berkshire development, which consists of 312 multifamily units located at the southwest corner of the intersection of Ryder Road and Wilson Road in Berkshire Township. All required and necessary agencies have reviewed the construction and improvements, and we would recommend your approval.
So moved. Well, already done that.
Vote,
Sorry.
please.
Go ahead.
Vote on motion 25-64, Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Great job, Lee. You've been busy.
Long list today.
Yeah.
That brings us to administrator reports. I don't think they have any.
I don't have anything either.
Commissioner committee reports.
Both of our deputy administrators have nothing to report. Okay, okay. Commissioner Merrill.
Well, I don't have a lot. The course board meeting last Friday went well. I've been asked to serve on another committee. We meet Wednesday, so I'll withhold any comments after I go to the first meeting, see what I got myself into.
See what you're done.
And other than that, I have nothing else today.
Okay. Just congratulations to Jonathan, who has been our economic development coordinator for 1 year and 1 month. So congrats to Jonathan. He's doing a great job, and we really appreciate his service. And no executive session. Okay. Therefore, Having no more business,